the sky is filled with fighter jets as they navigate through the deep green valley. Right after that, the pilots skillfully maneuver their aircraft to avoid being locked by radar. Turns out, the mountain terrain provides excellent cover for these stealthy and tactical maneuvers. Suddenly, the warning system sounds as the enemy detects them, making the mission extremely intense. Immediately, the pilot signals his team to maintain formation while they search for the target. Seeing the situation, the flight leader orders everyone to depart the valley to gain altitude. It becomes clear that the mission is now a high-stakes game of aerial combat. However, the enemy is waiting for them and quickly engages in a fierce dogfight sequence. Pilots, counter, deploy countermeasures to distract incoming mass while trying to regain their tactical advantage. Citation: to fries, the fighters fire their own projectiles to eliminate the immediate threat of danger. Seeing their comrade fall, the remaining pilots decide to change their strategy to stay alive. Right after that, they lock onto the enemy aircraft and prepare to launch their missiles. Fusion lights up the sky as the enemy plane is successfully taken out completely. However, the fight is far from over as more enemy jets arrive to challenge them. One of the pilots is forced to eject as his plane sustains critical structural damage. Immediately, the reinforcements arrive to provide support and turn the tide of this heated battle. Turns out that the new air support is far more advanced and highly capable. Right after that, they launch a coordinated attack that catches the enemy completely by surprise. Precision strikes are devastating, leaving the enemy with no room to maneuver or escape. However, the enemy commander refuses to give up and orders a desperate counter-attack against them. Seeing the incoming fire, the pilots perform evasive maneuvers to avoid being hit by projectiles. Right after that, they successfully break through the blockade and regroup for the final strike. Turns out that the enemy has been preparing for this moment for a while. Immediately, the command center receives updates about the enemy's movements along the border and coastline. Seeing the situation escalate, the leaders decide to increase the readiness to the highest level. However, they are still worried about the potential impact of this conflict on the region. Right after that, the generals discuss the best way to handle this massive military threat. It becomes clear that they need to act quickly to prevent further escalation and chaos. Without hesitation, they deploy their ground forces to secure the critical positions on the map. Seeing the ground troops moving, the enemy forces attempt to block their advance at arms. Right after that, a fierce firefight breaks out in the middle of the ruined city. Turns out that the enemy has set up traps to slow down their progress. Seeing their friends getting hurt, the soldiers push forward with even more determination than before. However, the enemy is relentless and refuses to give up their positions without a fight. Right after that, the air support arrives to clear the path for the ground troops. It becomes clear that the air superiority is essential for achieving victory in this conflict. Without hesitation, the jets strike the enemy targets with pinpoint accuracy and devastating explosive force. Seeing the enemy defenses crumbling, the ground troops seize the opportunity to advance further forward. However, the enemy has some surprises left, including a sophisticated electronic warfare system for them. Right after that, the pilots struggle to maintain contact with their command and control systems. It turns out that the enemy's electronic interference is much stronger than they initially anticipated. Seeing their radar failing, the pilots rely on their instincts and visual cues to survive. However, they eventually manage to restore their systems and regain control over the situation again. Right after that, they launch a massive counter-attack against the enemy's electronic warfare assets directly. It becomes clear that the enemy is losing their edge in this high-tech aerial battle. Without hesitation, the pilots target the enemy communications hub to shut down their electronic warfare. Seeing the enemy radar go dark, the pilots feel a sense of relief and confidence. However, the enemy is not done yet and launches a barrage of missiles towards them. After that, the pilots perform incredible maneuvers to dodge the incoming missiles with skill. It turns out that their training and experience are what keep them alive during combat. Seeing the danger, the pilots engage in a high-speed chase to finish the fight completely. However, the enemy manages to strike the warning plane, causing it to lose its signal. Right after that, the pilots lose their primary source of information and situational awareness. Now comes clear that they are in a very difficult position with limited options left. Without hesitation, the pilots decide to fight their way out of the danger zone together. Seeing the enemy closing in, they unleash their full firepower to clear the path forward. However, the enemy is still relentless and continues to press their advantage in the air. After that, the pilots realize that they need to change their tactics to survive. Turns out that their new strategy involves using stealth to get close and strike. Seeing the opening, the pilots execute their plan with precision and catch the enemy off. However, the enemy is quick to adapt and starts searching for their hidden aircraft now. Right after that, the pilots face a new challenge as they navigate the dangerous terrain. It becomes clear that mission is becoming more complex and dangerous by the minute. Without hesitation, the pilots push their aircraft to the limit to outrun the enemy's sensors. Seeing the enemy closing in, they decide to engage in one last desperate final battle. However, the enemy is waiting for them and quickly gains the upper hand in combat. Right after that, the pilots are forced to make a difficult decision to save themselves. Turns out that they need to retreat and regroup before they can continue fighting. Seeing their chance, they break off the engagement and head back to their base safely. However, the mission is far from over as they prepare for the next big challenge. Right after that, they analyze the data and plan their next move against the enemy. It becomes clear that they are determined to win this war at any cost necessary. Without hesitation, they launched their final assault against the enemy's main base of operations today. Seeing the target in their sights, the pilots fire their missiles with extreme precision now. However, the enemy defenses are strong and they have to fight hard for every victory. Right after that, they eventually succeed in destroying the enemy base and winning the war. It turns out that their courage and determination have finally brought peace to the region. Seeing the result of their efforts, the pilots feel a sense of pride and accomplishment. However, they know that there will always be new challenges ahead in the near future. Right after that, they go back to their daily lives as heroes of their country. It becomes clear that their legacy will continue to inspire others for generations to come. Without hesitation, they are ready to protect their nation whenever the need might arise again. Seeing their dedication, the people are grateful for their service and sacrifice in the war. However, the pilots never forget the comrades they lost along the way during the battle. After that, they honor their memory by working hard to build a better future. It turns out that the story is a testament to the power of human spirit. Seeing their success, the world watches in awe as they continue to lead the way. However, the journey is far from over as they face new challenges and opportunities ahead. Right after that, they continue to serve their country with honor, courage, and true dedication. It becomes clear that they are the true heroes of their time and every generation. Without hesitations, they are always ready to defend their country from any threat that arises. Seeing their bravery, the entire world is inspired by their stories of courage and sacrifice. However, they remain humble and focused on their mission to serve and protect their people. Right after that, they continue to work hard to achieve their goals and create peace. It turns out that their legacy will live on forever in the hearts of others. Seeing their impact, the world is a better place because of their service and sacrifice. However, they know that there is still much work to be done in this world. Right after that, they continue to strive for excellence in everything they do every day. It becomes clear that they are truly remarkable people who have made a lasting difference. Without hesitation, they are always ready to face any challenge that comes their way again. Seeing their strengths, the people are filled with hope and optimism for their bright future. However, they also know that there are many challenges and difficulties that lie ahead today. Right after that, they continue to work hard to build a better world for everyone. It turns out that the story is a source of inspiration for people all over. Seeing their journey, the world is moved by their bravery and unwavering commitment to service. However, they know that there is still so much more to do in this life. Right after that, they continue to serve their country with pride and honor every day. It becomes clear that they are the true heroes of their country and the world. Without hesitation, they are always ready to face any challenge that comes their way again. Seeing their bravery, the entire world is inspired by their stories of courage and sacrifice. However, they remain humble and focused on their mission to serve and protect their people. After that, they continue to work hard to achieve their goals and create peace. It turns out that their legacy will live on forever in the hearts of others. Seeing their impact, the world is a better place because of their service and sacrifice. However, they know that there is still much work to be done in this world. Right after that, they continue to strive for excellence in everything they do, every day. It becomes clear that they are truly remarkable people who have made a lasting difference. Without hesitation, they are always ready to face any challenge that comes their way again. Seeing their strengths, the people are filled with hope and optimism for their bright future. However, they also know that there are many challenges and difficulties that lie ahead today.